Dawes also on the ground. So underway on Anzac Day. Great bounce to start proceedings. Jolly great leap. Didn't touch the football. Hill. Opening kick down towards half forward. Awkward bouncing footy. O'Brien waited. Could have been taken high on his knees. Got it out. Trying to soccer it through the pack was Hocking. Still going Hocking. Reads over it. Slips a hand pass away. Johnson. Bit of a fumble. Spills wide. Lovett Murray's been in good form. Across the body. It ricochets off Johnson and goes out of bounds.
He's been here for a lot, Mickey, hasn't he? It's his 11th Anzac Day as coach of Collingwood. He's had so much to do with how this has become such a special afternoon in Australian sport and culture.
Right in back of his head. Go back behind it, Luke.
So an early kick for Luke Ball.
Play on.
And Collingwood out of the back half. Johnson has won an Anzac medal. Long Welsh and side bottom, so there's a compliment for side bottom early. Dawes getting maybe his first touch, so Pears got down low, tried to get it out to Fletcher, little handball. Welsh at his 150th, ridden down to the ground, gets a second crack. Didak's little left footer, well, it worked to Thomas, to Fraser, goes back to side bottom, to Thomas, almost within range, lines them up, and doesn't quite get the right angle. It's a behind.
He's really taken his game to another level this year, Dale Thomas. He's averaging 22 disposals a game, 7 of those contested. Might be that forward really pushes up and drives the ball long into the Collingwood forward line.
Here's Fletcher from the defensive 50 around the outer side, stretching. Gumbleton plays on from the deck. Pears back to Gumbleton. Runs down towards half forward. Not a particularly good kick, though. O'Brien gets across and claims the mark. O'Brien looks towards the middle, told to play on, takes something off the kick, not precise enough. McVeigh gets back, great to see him in the side. McVeigh on centre wing. Gumbleton has started well. McVeigh spears the ball into Ryder. Ryder still inside the centre square. Bomber fans 150.
Got Shaw and Hurley down at the moment, a bit of a mismatch in the Essendon forward line.
Kicks to space, Hill, uncontested. Well, this could be a stark contrast to about this time last season. He was hobbling off the ground. Can he kick the opening goal?
Always important contest. Hill likes to get forward, so does Jolly. And the first ruckman that gets that first mark in the forward 50 makes the other guy look for him for the rest of the day.
David Hill steps to 50. Kick is on the way. It's working back on the breeze, but not enough. Tim?
Dennis, you spoke about the breeze. It's really fluky down here at ground level. It's really picked up since this game began, and players are going to need a couple of siders. It does shift the breeze here at the MCG, so they're going to take a little bit of time to work out exactly which way they need to allow.
So Shaw, Bombers zoning to himself to get that extra 5 or 10 metres. Lovett Murray read it best and then dropped it in the end. He was quick off the mark, and now he's got a problem. Didak. It's been a goal kicker on this day. It's been a goal kicker on a lot of days. To Johnson, one of the lefties, and that left foot is a raking one, almost a swan. Dyson's got the job on Swan early. Fletcher gets it to Hill and then back to Fletcher. Hocking just has to search, but he's okay. He's got a couple of shorties, decided to go longer. It was a good one. Gumbleton's been important early. Monfries steadies. Interesting kick into a dangerous position. Watson's got a bit of time, uses it. Hocking goes to Gumbleton. This would be something. He hasn't done it. It was touched on the way through.
They let off the hook there, Collingwood players. They had 4 Collingwood defenders, all goalkeeping across the game without anyone actually going and playing man-on-man in the Essendon forward line.
Talked about a fairy tale coming in, though. He started well, Gumbleton. Ball to the outer side, side bottom. Timely fist knocks it forward. Tooby drives it around the outer side wing towards half forward. Coming up, it's dropped. Now it's paid to Dawes. Dawes forward of the wing. Chips to the 50. Beams. He can play on. Kicks it long down towards full forward. This could go through for a goal. Cloak. Well, Cloak got his hands to it. It stayed his side of the line, and then he kicks a goal. The opening goal of the afternoon.
It's a frantic up and down game. Essendon, Gumbleton's touched the ball 3 times, but I reckon he's given off incorrect disposal options, all 3 at the moment. But anyway, he's got to bid it up the other end. But that was just a good transfer, really, by Collingwood. And that was just the game of inches. Just the ball didn't quite go over, and Blake was able to make the goal.
Cloak debuted here in 05 and kicked 5 goals in 08, so it's always been a big day for him. So good start for Cloak. Collingwood would love him to have 3 or 4 at the end of the day. He's been getting a fair bit of footy, but not a lot of goals in the last year or two. Different role, perhaps. Pendlebury.
Oi! Advantage!
You heard the umpire. Wellingham gets it from Beams. Not such a good kick. Slattery. Davis, dangerous here. Robbed, well done. McVeigh then got the ball stripped by Wellingham, was terrific there. Trying to burst his way through Beams.
The intensity of the game is certainly right up there going into the game. Both sides ranked very high in tackles and contested ball, and today seems like that's coming to fruition again.
Jolly good tap, Wellingham.
Good.
And the clearance comes back to Jolly to fall forward. Dempsey juggling a bit, then fetching and running it over the line for a minor score.
Do we see different game today? It looks like a man-to-man game. Away from the congestion, there's pairs of players, forwards and defenders. Neither side is putting a zone into place at this point.
Speaking of pairs, out of the back pocket. Oh, Harry launched himself. Now Collier, who is very quick. Couple of bounces. Runs beyond the wing, Collier. Dropping back, Hurley wants it. He delays that delivery, goes to Hocking. Hocking the long kick towards the opposite pocket, Zaharakis, and it knocked away. In front it's Jolly. Jolly goes to midfield. Now a chance for the Pies. Beams. Pearce stays off him. Beams goes looking for Medhurst. Probably should have carried the ball a bit longer. Deep in the pocket, Medhurst across the face of goal. Still a live ball. First back is Hooker, in trouble. Taken down a hand pass to Fletcher. Fletcher goes looking for Dyson, missed him. Thomas leads back for Collingwood. Arriving first though, Hocking of Essendon. Now Welsh. Sweeping hand pass. Dyson on the left boot goes down towards half forward. Capped away by Shaw. Beat Monfries. Clattering through the pack there, Maxwell. On his knees, doing well, Shaw. Went back to Pendlebury. O'Brien running out of space. It's out of bounds.
Got the matchup right there, Lee. We see Heath Shaw going to Monfries, or it might be Monfries actually going to Heath Shaw.
Yeah, Hocking was there for the first few minutes of the game, so maybe that's just whoever comes. Shaw will play just normal defence.
Jolly doing well, and Pendlebury's handball brilliant to Beams, having a lot of it, and Wellingham a probing kick. Dawes, good contest. Dempsey, still Dempsey. He's worked it all right. He's got an option up half back, and he finds it. So away Melsham. Well, handball that put great pressure on Stanton and big pressure on Welsh in the end. So the relay there, and then Winderlick getting it out. Stanton kept his head down low. Side bottom, Thomas. He's got a real appetite for it. The kick to a vacant goal square. Bouncing the ball. Had a bit of energy, that footy, for a moment. Pears out wide. A searching kick to Reimers. And Reimers, well, those boots are bright. They always are with Carl. And a boundary throw in.
Always interesting to look at the energy in the game in the first 10 minutes. And both sides are providing. We saw Essendon 7 days ago. Well, last weekend looked pretty off. But they're on today in terms of that energy level.
Boundary throw in. Jolly works in front. Stanton held without it.
Didn't have the footy.
Good to see him back.
Right there, Luke. Let him get up.
Just on those energy levels, Lee, the players in the pre-game actually spoke about Anzac Day being like a final. When watching it from up here, I'm certainly gauging that from the game at the moment.
Hill, ill-directed. Tooby takes the mark on his chest. Overcast for the moment. Goes to Maxwell. Back to Tooby. Runs the boundary to half forward. Dawes has started well. Dawes kicks towards the 50. Beams bobbing up everywhere. Takes on Melsham. Kicks down towards full forward. Working in front is Cloak.
Good mark.
That was a terrific mark.
Well, that was a genuine contest. It was really a 50-50 ball, but he had the front position And Hooker's a pretty good spoiler, but he just couldn't quite get his fist in the right spot.
That passage of play has actually summed up both clubs. We know that Collingwood like to use the wings and chip the ball down the outside of the ground. And if Essendon do have an Achilles heel, they've been conceding a lot of goals once inside the defensive 50 in a one-on-one contest. So perhaps we're seeing both game plans panning out.
Beams, 5 possessions so far. And Cloak at his second. Steers it right through the middle.
They're just looking like they're using the ball better, Collingwood. That's the way I would sort of summarise this first 10 minutes of the game. Great energy level, great pressure at the footy. But a few times Essendon, about 3 or 4 times Essendon have come through with space around the middle of the ground, but just made bad options, turned the ball over. Just at the moment, Collingwood just look a little bit sharper and better with ball in hand.
That's a really strong, confident mark for Travis Cloak. He's had his troubles in front of goal, but now with Tui, obviously had a really easy one first up, but a great start.
You talk about Collingwood, and one of their only perceived weaknesses is their key forward position. So it's been a great start today. Trav Cloak, 2 goals already, and Dawes is moving around well, and he is one massive unit down here at ground level.
First time this year Cloak's had multiple goals. Swan, long ball in and going strong and just over the line. So both Collingwood goals coming from Beams' ball into Cloak. So their field kicking's been much more efficient than Essendon in these opening minutes.
They've been happy to actually kick the ball in long too.
Yep.
And just get it in there, make the defenders defend.
So first little moment for the Bombers, you feel here. They're a couple of goals down and the pressure sort of mounts. Johnson hooking back. Swan quickly on. Well, I'm not sure. Medhurst in the pocket. He's so good in this situation. Centering ball. Tuvey, an unlikely goal scorer. Whew.
Again, it came on the back of a turnover. Collingwood absolutely slaughtered Hawthorn last week in the turnovers and put the scoreboard pressure on. Essendon will need to be cleaner, particularly bringing the ball out of the defensive 50. It's a great start for young Tuvey here. There's an article in the local papers in Melbourne talking about him feeling comfortable with his position in the side. He's up to about 26 games in a row now, so that's a really positive sign for him at the start of the game.
Fantastic to put the ball outside the line of the opposition player, kick around the body.
He booted 3 goals on his debut. He's only booted 4 since. They're happy. And the margin is out to 19 points. Ryder very conscious of Fraser. Fraser won it down. Cloak, who's been terrific so far, runs into a dead end. Interesting stat, the last 8 times we've covered Essendon, they've lost. So clearly the team the Bombers should fear most in big games is the 7 commentary team. Off to a slow start here and under siege. Fraser, Lovett, Murray, slung. Holding the ball.
Just clear it up, guys. Paddy,
More joy for Collingwood. Fraser, Thomas, quick hands intended for ball wide of the mark. Bit slow there was Watson. McCaffer did well. Didak, centering kick, a beautiful kick. How did he spot Davis? No idea. Davis, 55 metres out. It's off target, behind.
It's always interesting when we come to the footy. And I mentioned it before that we've sort of just got a forwards versus defenders array from the footy. Looks like a game of footy of 5 years ago or 10 years ago, not the zoning look.
Yep.
You wonder why the teams, this happens. Are both teams set it up?
I think
one of those things, coincidence, what is it?
I think in bigger games, finals tend to be one-on-one style games as well, and perhaps it's just the occasion and the players have that propensity to go back to the one-on-one style of football.
Well, Hooker's called to play on here. They're having a bad 5 minutes here, the Bombers. Hooker gets it from Pears to Dyson. And then Dyson forced to go back. Stanton coming wide to Slattery. They just need some clean footy here. And that sums them up, I reckon.
That's terrific all-ground defence by Collingwood, boxing them over into the far pocket. Playing against Collingwood in the past, it was always tough to get a kick. They are really disciplined in their all-ground defensive pursuits.
Ryder over the top. Didak's hands were terrific. Swan the bounce. He was a bit unlucky.
one of the great criticisms of Essendon is their inability to stop these scoring sequences. Well, Collingwood have got these 3 goals. I don't know whether you change your game just because the opposition kicked 2 in a row, because no one knows they're going to kick 3 in a row or 4 in a row, but they certainly need this next goal to stop the momentum.
Fletcher. Oh, terrific grab. Shaw. Between 2 Bombers. 75 metres out centre. Kick not bad either. Wellingham is lurking behind. Welsh needed to mark it. He did. Gave it to Watson. Back to Welsh. Lovett Murray on the defensive 50. Dempsey taken down by Sidebottom. Lovett Murray to Welsh. He was swamped by Ball. Ball up.
No pro opportunity. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Andrew.
I think what happens, Lee, in those situations, it's up to the players out there to call that. If they sort of sense that the run-on's coming from the opposition side, to pull a player back, it might be a wingman or push the half forward up to the wing and create the extra spare defender.
Ryder got over the top. Thomas, clever handball inside.
Holding it in 50 metres against you. He handballed it off and he stopped him from being involved in the next act. No, Dale Thomas's. Holding.
Well, I haven't seen that penalty paid very often. It's been in for a couple of years now where if you impede a player for that second potential involvement in the game, it's a 50-metre penalty. No,
it's a big penalty, isn't it? And then he's trying to get the link-up play and you're holding him.
He's had a shocking start, Nathan Lovett Murray, to be honest. Everything's gone wrong for him as Thomas kicks the goal. Collingwood are 4 in front.
Thomas has certainly started the game in the right vein. He's up to 6 possessions already, 3 inside 50s and a goal. But it almost looked, he looked as confused as Lovett Murray about the decision. I mean, it's technically there, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, that rule was put in 12 months ago. Yeah. I don't think I've seen it paid in the last 12 months that I've been in a game. But, yeah, it's just not allowing. There was a lot of blocking, stopping the second phase of play, which was why that interpretation was put into place.
I've watched a lot of footy over the weekend, and I reckon I've seen that similar incident probably more than a dozen times already. I just wonder whether or not there's been instruction given to the umpires in the lead up to this game about that particular infringement.
Back in the middle. Socket off the ground by Slattery. Lovett Murray getting his hands there on Thomas, almost thoughtfully, I thought. Not a good kick from Watson. Wellingham did well, although Maxwell was placed under pressure. The Bombers have got to respond here. Reimers goes in. Pendlebury somehow got it forward, backing out of the pack and beeping, I think there was the big fellow, Jolly. Hacked out of midair by Didak. Marked by Lovett Murray, who needs to settle. Hasn't been an auspicious start for him. Comes out to Collier. Collier back to the corridor. Good idea. Pears. Goes down towards half forward. It's 2-on-1 there. In from the side. The leap from Pendlebury falls behind Zaharakis. Now they've got the numbers. At least they had them initially. Diving in there was Shaw. Opportunity for Johnson. He's taken down by a couple of Bombers. And it's going to be a free kick to the Magpies against Welsh.
That ability to stay composed under this pressure is Essendon's challenge right now. Collingwood are playing well. They've got the scoreboard ticking. Essendon can't panic.
So Wellingham, McVeigh and Davis. McVeigh had to get it out, and he did. Swan against the tide, handball down low. Wellingham brilliant pick up with one hand, and then kicks to the goal square. Medhurst, front spot, Hooker, good contest, and the ball runs out of bounds.
It's interesting this situation, isn't it, Tom, when all of a sudden the opposition have got hold of the game? Yeah. And that ability to not panic?
Well, it is. I mean, you really rely on the senior players to just calm it down. And a lot of it's done through voice. A lot of it's just passing the message. Come on, boys, we just got to absorb this for the next couple of minutes, recompose ourselves and go again.
Bull's tackle on Dempsey.
Yeah, no chance. Pollard straight in on top. Thank you. Thank you.
Magnificent sight, isn't it, with a full MCG on what feels like a wintry type day, but without sun shining and no sign of the rain or showers that were forecast. Down to you, Richo.
Yeah, just noticed Essendon early. Their kick to handball ratio is just out of whack. 27 kicks, 33 handballs. Just over-possessing it with hands through half-back. Eventually going to turn it over. It happened on Friday night with Adelaide.
Boundary throw in, Jolly decisively. Wellingham snaps. It floats. It's a goal. A metre over the line. Jared Wellingham.
That point that Richo mentioned about them high handballs, actually, I wonder if that's a confidence in your forward 50. There's no doubt there's a subconscious thing gets into players' minds that if I kick the ball long to our forward 50 and it rebounds, then I'm in trouble defending around the middle of the ground. And just maybe the Essendon players are overplaying it because that forward group is not really got their confidence.
Well, Brad Johnson talked about Wellington pre-match and the importance.
Knows how to pick him, Jono.
Yeah, well, he's been fantastic in this opening term, along with a lot of his teammates. 10 scoring shots to 2 now, and a 5.5 goal margin. Lovett Murray couldn't quite.
Kicking in danger, had his hands over the footy advantage.
Well, it's all going wrong here. It's unravelling quickly. Ball, corralled. Johnson, who's a fast man. Lovely left foot. Beams, who was so important early, when things seemed tight. Jolly's got down. He wants it high and long. And Beams, who can cover a bit of ground with the kick, kicks to about 20 metres. Jolly, the target, almost. Davis quick to come in and put the tackle on Melsham.
Thank you.
Going into the game, Essendon ranked really highly in clearances. They're getting absolutely smashed at the moment, 10-3. So really need to sort out some structure at the coalface at the stoppages.
Very lucky then. Jolly got forward and Ryder just forgot he was going.
Margin 33 points. Jolly only as far as Stanton. Smothered off the boot. Davis hit the pack hard. After it goes Fletcher. Slattery, a hurried kick. Hocking. Stanton, no one to kick to. Just goes for distance. Not bad policy. Trying to crash his way through there was Hill. Hard to ask him to turn in that situation. So a ball up. Attacking end of the square for the Bombers, who have rarely been inside 50 in the last 10 minutes. Ryder reaches over the top and knocks it down. Watson. And that ball's not coming out.
No. Main attempt came out. Hey?
Disappointing start by Essendon. Exhilarating start by Collingwood. A lot of verve so far from the Magpies. Maxwell found his way through far too easily. Sends it towards the wing. Pears peels off. Awkward bounce. Taken by Cloak. Across to Thomas. Coming off a career-high 26 possessions and 3 goals last week, Thomas. Cloak down towards half-forward. Pendlebury, like a basketballer, controlled it to his own advantage. Obliging bounce for Fraser. Oh, Pendlebury. Oh, well done twice. Gets a kick inside the forward 50. Lunging forward down there was Dempsey, off the ground by Slattery.
A hot footy. Winderlick run into the ground and then died at. Only as far as Dyson. So Dyson to Pears. And Pears will keep it down low to Reamers. And then Reamers, well, to Lovett Murray. So careful build up here by Essendon. Just trying to find some targets for the moment. Lovett Murray a bit underside. I'm not sure about that handball idea. Slattery, Zaharakis. That footy's not going far at the moment. Pears. Melsham has to take off to Stanton. This is an important kick now. It's a one-on-one contest. A little push in the back.
It's a classic example exactly of what Richo was talking about with the over-handballing by the Bombers there.
Monfries, not a good kick. Maxwell's half volley and the handball to Shaw and back to Maxwell. And Collingwood are away again by the look of it. Beams out wide, and here goes the galloping Harry.
Beams has been terrific. O'Brien down the outer side wing, kicks towards half-forward. Davis is held. Davis about 75 metres from goal.
Yours.
Wasting no time. Cloak again. Wow, the small forwards just feeding Cloak. It's a marriage made in heaven at the moment.
It's a very steep shot, or very deep angle there from the forward pocket, but Dustin Fletcher was covering 15 metres in from the boundary line, but really just didn't go with Cloak's movement out wide.
As Bruce said earlier, hadn't kicked multiple goals this season until he got his second here, going at his third. And he puts it through. It's a marriage made in Sharon heaven.
It's just amazing what confidence does. I mean, we saw Travis Cloke get the first goal from about 30 centimetres out. Can't miss from there. Then he's drilled
Still one against your name, isn't it?
Exactly right. And going into the game, it was one of the areas of concern with Collingwood was their goal-scoring accuracy. Then all of a sudden, you're threading one with a check side from the boundary.
Yeah, that was exactly what we talk about a lot. Fletcher zoning, not playing man on man.
Be a nightmare to be an Essendon forward at the moment. The problem is when you overpossess handball across half back, you don't know when to lead as a forward, and then as the game wears on, you don't lead at all because you lose confidence. So they just need to start kicking the ball into their forwards.
Ball wins it.
Advantage
Against Watson there for a high one, and then Swan to full forward. Davis and Medhurst, two creative players together. Medhurst brought down in the tackle.
I couldn't see if he got a handball or not.
I think we've got to be aware that Collingwood's defence. I don't think Essendon are trying to have like more handballs and kicks. It's just Collingwood's defensive pressure so much that they just can't get any flow in their game, and they just put from one pressured player to another pressured player.
At the moment, that lead is 39 points, which would be the biggest we've ever had in an Anzac Day clash between these two, if it stays at that.
He knocked it clear and you held on to him, didn't take possession.
So Michael Hurley was under club suspension for the first part of the season. Came back last week, had a quiet night. He kicked a couple against West Coast. They take a couple right now from anywhere. Kicks and well marked by the captain. He's an inspiring player, Maxwell, to O'Brien, to Wellingham.
Well, he's improved, hasn't he? Yeah. Just he's come through so well the last month, Wellingham.
Yeah, good player from the Perth Footy Club in WA. I think Nick has got better since he spent a bit of time with us too, just hanging out in the commentary box. Helped him along. We like to do that. So Shaw, almost contempt there. He pays the price. Very slack. The coach won't like that.
He needed to just be able to kick the ball 50 metres down the line, but none of the forwards were prepared for him to do that.
Well, the way it's going, Collingwood can do worse than kick to a contest.
Absolutely.
Lovett Murray, clock running down to quarter time.
Just got no power forward, Essendon. I mean, they've got Gumbleton with height, Ryder with height, but they won't go to them. No confidence in them.
Stanton put himself under pressure to Fletcher. That's a beautiful kick. Now things can open up to the far side if Melksham spots the man that's hanging out by himself on the far wing. Dyson, wrong foot side bottom, comes back to Melksham, who is flat-footed. He's run down from behind by Didak. Hooker goes to Dempsey. They'll regroup. McVeigh has it. They need a late goal. They need a spark. There's Hurley. McVeigh just put it to the square. Well, he decides not to. Goes to Hill. Gumbleton is one out against Shaw in the goal square. Surely that's a matchup they can exploit. Long ball from behind Ryder. It's not that difficult sometimes. Shaw is the man sandwiched between two tall players. Or was it Swan? It was Swan. As Ryder walks around and misses.
Oh, that's a bad miss. It's a very acute angle, but really, once he took two steps out, the angle opens up enormously.
Gee.
All that planning, just in your Matthew Knights a moment ago, and you feel like go to plan B in a big hurry. Kick by Tuvey wide. Medhurst, good hands. He's given Dawes an opportunity. Fletcher gets back, goes to ground. Dawes goes back to Beams. So good in this opening term. And then Beams into the heart of the centre square, and they've got three to raffle it. And Maxwell's kick's a beauty. And Cloke is having just the dream first quarter. And he's a bit of a chance, you reckon, the way things are going. He goes bang, Thomas waits, belted away.
He's definitely got his tail up, Travis Cloke. He's attacking the ball and really drawing the ball. And that's the stark difference between the Essendon forwards at the moment. No one's presenting up with real presence and demanding the football.
Sometimes a maligned player, Cloke, but these are the games where reputations are forged and leads are added to. Fraser ambles in.
Well, it is falling Collingwood's way. I mean, Hill just seemed to fall out of the ruck contest. Let's have a look and see how this happened. Just ball opened up, little knock on. Very easy game for Josh Fraser from the way that begun.
Oh, when it rains, it pours sometimes, and you know, when the ball just bounces your way, you take it, and all of a sudden it's 47-3 Collingwood's way.
So Fraser just strolls in, and right now, if this lead stands, this is the greatest lead that any team between these two have had over one another ever at quarter time. This is the 221st time they've been playing since 1897. And in any match, no one's led by this much at the quarter time break. Thomas, they might increase that lead. They kicks the ball inside the 50. Pendlebury, and then Welsh. Tell you what, quarter time's going to be interesting when Matthew Knights comes down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they need the break. I mean, Collingwood have been magnificent this quarter. I mean, they just haven't allowed Essendon to get any flow in the game, and really that's Essendon's strength. If they can't flow the footy, they can't play sort of kick-to-kick type slow footy and win.
It's a sheer weight of numbers at the moment. Collingwood are up to 20 inside 50s. That's a huge tally if they can keep that going. That's 80 for the game. But you're rightly, they just need to get their hands on the ball and promote some fluency through the midfield, the Bombers.
Wasn't that man such a big part of this day on the field, Nathan Buckley, with his heroics over the years?
Enjoying this too. Hill stood up in a tackle, slapped out of there into the path though of Didak. Misses, across the face of goal. Dawes slams it back. Medhurst in the grasp. Johnson, he's been lively. Forced a hand pass quickly. It goes out of bounds. Good pressure that time from Slattery. Michael Malthouse would be loving this. Of course, last Anzac Day with the last kick of the day. His dream snuffed out. 5-point margin after Collingwood had led by 15 at the first break. They've improved on that today. So last year close but no cigar. I don't think Churchill said that. It goes out wide and the mark is taken by Zaharakis.
It's been slow ball movement for the Bombers since the first 5 minutes.
The back jump too early, unrealistic attempt, bring it back.
Unrealistic and undisciplined, I would have thought. That's no need for that one from young Remus.
So Reid is back in the team today along with Dawes and Didak. So there you have it. The biggest margin ever between these two teams at quarter time in any match. On this stage today, it's 47-3. Collingwood kicked all the 7 goals in the opening term.
It's not inconceivable. Second term, Anzac Day, sellout crowd. Bombers with a migraine. One down by Jolly, comes back towards Hill, diving over the ball. Stanton, well done, bounces to his feet, kicks it down inside the forward 50. Winderlich, amazing, don't tell me. Gumbleton kicks the goal. That's how easy it is. Half an hour, then 20 seconds.
Yes, it's always easy to kick the ball. If you can actually just kick the ball and quickly out of the centre circle, it's amazing how often your forwards can be advantaged. But I mean, it's really that thing also at quarter time is it's not so much kicking 7 goals and being in front at half time. Can we just work our way back on the scoreboard? But really, it's about what are we going to do? And the clearances are a fair start.
That one with Stanton, just getting the ball on the boot. I know the supporters watching the game would be saying just kick the ball and they get a result. So they've got to take some confidence out of that. And especially for Gumbleton, he had the horrible miss at the start of the game. And to drill one from 50 is a really great start to the second quarter.
They were 15-6 down in clearances in the first quarter. So that's where they've got to start their comeback.
Just saw Kevin Sheedy.
Too high. Sorry, Dave. Your arms went too high. All right, bring it back, guys. Let it
Sheeds, who had so much to do with this game and how it's taken off. It sort of originated from the 1977 clash with Richmond and Collingwood, where Dawes looked to give a big push to Pears. Watson gets down low to Stanton. Reimers, wayward handball, Davis, Didak. Heard the umpire, then Cloak has to concede, but he finds the target in Jolly. It was interesting, Stanton didn't handball off in the middle of the ground. He had an option or two, but he decided to just go bang with the kick, and it worked for them on that occasion. Fletcher got the fist away. Davis, McVeigh, Reimers, again he's prepared to hack it. And we're happy with that. Yep, and then Gumbleton belts it forward. Reid to get back. Just his second game this year. He's been a high draft pick. He's found it difficult. Now Brown back in the team. This is his first game this year. An up and under. Belted at the back by Hooker. Side bottom, brilliant. To Cloak. And then Cloak's little dinky kick to Thomas. And then Thomas, well, he just couldn't quite get the angle. It was a good chase down.
It was fantastic from Collingwood because he had the speed and the acceleration to get there before Thomas had a chance to balance.
He made up a huge amount of ground there, young Collingwood. I think he tested really well in all the draft camps, but that's a really pleasing sign from the young player.
Yeah, you're right, mate. You're right.
So the margin 39 points. Fletcher to bring it in to himself, and then for distance. Dawes in best position, will fly from behind. Will he try to punch it away from Hill? Pendlebury taken high.
Job out, please, Job.
Pendlebury
Come out.
coming up for his sixth possession.
Hey, Craig, take him out.
Dane Beams has been the star with 8. And Thomas with 10.
No, got to go away. Reset the mark. Can't Shepherd.
Collingwood seem to do this more than almost anyone, I think, just looking to shepherd the man on the mark when their teammate plays on, but the umpire didn't allow them close enough then.
Well, as we said before the game, 21 finals umpired by this threesome, and 20 of them Michael Vozos. Up ahead, Swan. Pendlebury, meantime, goes for distance. Jolly will fly from behind. Hands to it. Couldn't complete the mark. It falls in front, taken by Watson. Very close quarters. Stanton couldn't control it. Comes flicked out of the pack. Well done by Dempsey. Kept it going. Stanton charged down by Didak. Wonderful release to Johnson. And Johnson kicks the goal. Oh, high pressure precision.
Speed and life from the Collingwood forward 50 has been certainly putting the Essendon defence under pressure. They want to try and run it out, Essendon, but one slight fumble, one slight errant handball. They're certainly on those second efforts, Collingwood. And Johnson, the left footer, ball just comes back with his natural run towards the boundary line.
Really made them pay. They looked pretty clean initially, Essendon, but you're right, it's just that one that was a couple of metres off, and Johnson, Didak, Davis, they'll make you pay every time.
Won the medal 4 years ago, Ben Johnson. In fact, his last 3 Anzac Day matches they've won, Collingwood. Didn't play last year. And again, just missing targets. For the Bombers, Maxwell rode the tackle well, but the second tackle by Hocking was a good one. Beams down low. Couldn't quite get through. Watson's toe poke. And then Reid against the flow, gets away from Zaharakis. Bit too easily. Thomas. Oh, brilliant. Cloak. A third running bounce. Still no one comes. A 4. He's within range. 50 out. Kicks to the top of the square. Jolly. Well, he was going to fly. Didn't quite. Davis. Well done, though. Scoot back. Good hip and shoulder by Hill. Little give. Reimers in heavy traffic. You can always spot him in heavy traffic, though. Kicks to centre wing. Bouncing ball now. Johnson, who kicked the last goal. Little kick. Ball has to wait. It was a slow one. And then Hocking and Ball, a couple of tough nuts. Monfries a slow start. And then Ball again trying to get it back with side bottom. And then Monfries tackled by Ball. Going nowhere.
Thanks, Angus. Thanks, mate.
That's impressive. The MCG reaching over the top. Hill. Winderlick knocks it out towards the wing. Thomas desperate twice. Dempsey Tries to feed it back to Winderlick. Winderlick taken by the arm and was penalised for a throw. Didak. That was clever. Just got the left mid from the wing. Kicks it down towards half forward and Dawes. Almost the mark. Went to ground. Pears. Knows pressure this afternoon to Dyson, to Slattery. Hill. Dyson. Reamers. Slattery. They need a kick. Well, first they've got to get it, of course. Slattery. It trickles out. Reamers. Well done, Didak. Now Watson. The defensive side of centre wing, hoisted high, in from the side, getting his fingertips to it there. Maxwell, he runs on and is the first tackler on Monfrey. So a ball up between the lines.
You can hear the Essendon fans. It's like they've got a very simple philosophy. Handball's not working, just kick it. So they're cheering if someone decides to kick. Not that simple.
So Ryder over the top, Wellingham down low. Ryder trying to kill a left footer away. Hocking does that, not far. Side bottom, got down low. And then Hocking gets it forward. Monfrey's quick off the mark. Goes to Milsham. And then Milsham, good-looking kick. Mark not taken by Gumbleton. G. Reid was good. And O'Brien, well, I thought he might have fancied a run. He decided to kick to McCaffer. The ball eludes him. Stanton, can he get away? He has to backtrack and then kicks it to Collier. So Collier and the famous number 32. One bounce, and then the kick across the ground's a poor one. And Jolly was just that when he saw that ball coming in.
Sweeps it to Shaw. It was just that with the kick. Cloak's got it. On centre wing. Cloak is booted free, but not with kicking like that. Puts it out of bounds on the full.
The one that really hurt was the Gumbleton one-on-one, and Reid, terrific spoil in the back line, but you want your key forwards to really clunk those ones. Just give, I guess, the half forwards some real confidence to drive the ball deep into the forward 50.
Yeah, but probably try and come forward to try and mark the footy and at least try and draw that front-on spalling free kick.
Yes.
So Hooker. Now that is an interesting kick. Winderlick was up, couldn't complete the mark. Shaw, Pendlebury, sweeping hand pass inboard. Cloak. Wrong foot's Ryder, sends it inside the forward 50. Somehow it favours Medhurst. Punched away though by Fletcher. Well done. Little 1-2 with Hocking. A penetrating kick. Zaharakis goes back, takes the mark, looks to the middle. Winderlick is on. Bypasses Winderlick. Not sure why. Knocked away by Jolly. No one is going to Winderlick. So he goes after the footy. He tackles Maxwell. Opportunity now for Stanton. Did he have the football still going? Oh, well done, Harry O'Brien. Got him dead to rights. As if that's not enough, he plays on to Pendlebury. Beams at right angles. Oh, that's cocky. Thomas has that. Sure, he's on the wing.
Pendlebury, the link up to Swan. Swan's little one in, I think it might have been meant for Fraser. Beams cuts it off and then leans back and hooks it from behind. Well, they've had a few chances, Essendon. They're just great play by O'Brien.
They had that in the first 5 minutes of the game, didn't they? But their ability just to make the half chances into fully blown chances and goals, that's something that is just not in their game at this point.
You think of them as a quick team, Essendon, but right now Collingwood are much faster.
Well, over that 22, you're right. Now, the Collingwood are getting to them. That's why they're under so much pressure.
They're suffocating them at the moment. Fletcher's been pretty good, and he's been kicking the ball long. Watson a target. Almost. They need some clean footy here. Again, Collingwood's tackling. It was the pressure coming from Didak, and Watson overhit the handball to Winderlick. And now 2v. Good tackle. Should be penalised. Advantage. Winderlick, they need a goal here. They've got to get one. Well, brilliantly done again by Reid. His smothering's been important, and then the half volley was outstanding. And the kick out wide to McCaffer. Collingwood looked terrific.
McCaffer down a half forward, getting down low. Fraser just pops it into the path of Thomas. Wonderful running Thomas. He took off from the line of the square once Collingwood controlled the football.
An absolute cardinal sin when you're playing against Collingwood, because you do know they chip the ball around the ground. Tate Pears just gave his direct opponent too much time. If you're going to get uncontested marks along the wing, it just plays into Collingwood's hand. And as you can see, they're going to have a shot on goal, albeit from a tight angle.
55-9. Way they've been going, don't rule this out. Thomas bending it back. No score, off hands, out of bounds. So just the one goal in the opening 20 seconds of this term to Scott Gumbleton. Otherwise a barren run today. Ryder got it down. Lovett Murray across to Fletcher. I think it'll be coming back.
O'Brien has to sit and wait, and he doesn't wait for much, Harry. Out wide to Davis.
Right there. It's fine.
And Davis, a penetrating kick.
Move it on. Play on.
Like Didak, he's got a fast footy brain, but that one not so good, and Remus cuts it off. He was looking for a little kick to space for McCaffrey to run on or cloak. So Gumbleton in a one-on-one with Reid, eludes both. Shaw back, nobody behind him, O'Brien. And he decides to load up and kick to half forward. Dawes, Fletcher last man up. Watson, good tackle by Dawes.
An opportunity. Mark's there.
Yeah, Joe looked for the runner, but there was no one there. Just in that split second of hesitation, the tackler got hold of him.
Move it on.
So Dawes off a step, goes out to Fraser. Fraser 60 metres out, long kick. They'll compete about 5 metres out. Thomas had the leap from behind but couldn't hang on.
You don't have to be 195 centimetres to draw the ball in the forward line. Essendon just don't happen. Gumbleton is the only guy that sees having the ball kicked in his direction. They just haven't got any other forwards at the moment who are drawing the ball to them. Even Thomas and Didak and Davis, they get the ball drawn to them in addition to Cloak, who's the main tool in the Collingwood forward line.
Bring it in.
Fletcher. Play on's the call. Fletcher, ample time. Kicks it well outside the 50. Ryder, the big leap. Plenty of bombers on the deck that time. Winderlick goes down a half forward. Gumbleton. Gumbleton runs to 50. Looks to the middle. Not his best effort. They've got 2-on-1 though. Zaharakis over the top, must be a goal. Hurley goes in and gets it. They're chasing manageable.
It's all well and good to get a goal like that, but you've got to remember that came from a set play, so it was very much a structure. But the ball movement was great. You know, we can see here on the screen that they've got the ball over the top. Not sure about this little cross the body kick like that. What Essendon need to do to get back into the game is actually transfer that into general play. Get the theme and get the run of the game to kick the ball along and get some forward momentum.
And Hurley, can he impose himself on the game in a few contests?
So this massive crowd looking on, and a lot of them hoping that Essendon can whittle away this lead and get it to maybe 3 or 4 goals by half-time in arrears. They've only taken 3 points off the lead in this term so far. They've kicked 2 goals to 1-3. Johnson couldn't quite get through. Looked a little bit high on Watson, and Remus getting it forward. Lovett Murray's tackle was okay. Didak, so constructive Didak. That ball just too far for ball. Hooker. Welsh couldn't quite break the tackle. The ball comes out the back. Pendlebury over the line.
Throw in.
Absolute domination there in the key contested possessions and tackles. Collingwood's favour, considering they've had so much of the ball. Been interesting to see their tackling numbers still as high as they are.
Gee, that was interesting. Lovett Murray from the front, just pushing ball to the ground. It's like the old shirt front with the hands here. Boom.
Right, free kick went too high, Josh. Play on.
So you've got to take every little bit if you're an Essendon fan right now. Remus getting that free. Kicks to about 60 metres. Big fly came from Hill at the back. Collingwood in the box seat. Pendlebury had a bit of time. Johnson. It's trademark Johnson that tucks the ball under his arm. Pendlebury demands Fraser to move, and Watson didn't quite get a hold of him. Second effort now. Swan. Watson okay. Swan's toe poke. Melsham has to keep his head down. Dropped down by Dempsey. Taken. Beautiful kick forward by Maxwell, and Cloak's going to kick his 4th goal.
Got back into the hole. Well, it was just that 50-50 balls around the middle. Essendon almost got it. Collingwood almost got it. but Collingwood won that midfield contest, and Hooker was completely out of position. He was actually well in front of Cloak, who just dropped back into the hole.
So 4 goals for the year coming in, 1-1, 1-1, and now 4 goals in the opening half.
Without knowing Cloak personally at all, he appears to be one of those confidence players, and we sort of joked about it, and probably not fair to do that. The goal that he got from the first passage of play was only 37 centimetres out, but it's a little confidence built.
When you're a forward and you're supposed to kick goals, it doesn't matter how you get them. If you get one against your name early, you feel better and under less pressure from that point onwards.
I mean, he's the most dominant player on the field at the moment. He's really imposing himself.
He's got 4 now, the first from 30 centimetres out. Great to know you'll get the distance.
Essendon are in the game. It's now 2 goals apiece this quarter, but they've just got to. The game's going okay from now.
Yep, they started half an hour late. SA time. Out of the middle, Hooker comes out wide. Hurley, whoops, not having a good day. Reid has been his master. Pendlebury ambles down towards half forward, still going, side bottom. This is not beyond him, side bottom. Decides though to pull it back towards the middle. Love it, Murray. Stanton's on in the middle. He'll get it now from Fletcher. Stanton can go right up the middle. Just gives it back to Welsh. Not sure about that play. Comes back to Stanton. Now Stanton looks wide. In front, Zaharakis takes the mark. He's about 75 metres from goal. Couple of tall targets down there. Hill dropping back. Monfries darts into the square now. Zaharakis takes on the man on the mark, Maxwell. Drives it long down towards full forward. Over the top, punched away by Reid, who butters up again. Ball on the ground. Getting low there was Monfries. That took some courage, and he's very stiff. Very stiff. He's been penalised for diving on the football, which he did. But the Collingwood player, I think, dived on top of him. Monfries could have easily got a free kick.
Stanton there running the wrong way, but was able to get a hand on the ball.
High! Bring it back! High! Yours. High! Just be careful when he's got his head over the ball, okay?
So Stanton's free kick.
Play on!
He's going to load it up and kick to about 20 metres out. Ryder and Hill eludes both of them. Monfries, a real chance from here. Should kick the goal, but he doesn't get the angle. It was certainly a gettable one there.
They become crucial decisions. This one, let's see, he dives in after the footy in a minute. Let's see what happens. Now, this is the Stanton one. I was thinking of that one early on when Monfries dived on the footy and got pinged for holding the ball. They're crucial decisions, that one.
Shaw to himself, then O'Brien with a hand pass. O'Brien around the outer side wing. Big leap from Dawes. Pearce was with him. It's out of bounds.
Just been watching closely Michael Hurley for the past minute or so. He chased down, albeit spasmodically, Pendlebury. It was about a minute and a half ago. He's been hands on hips since he's missed a lot of footy. He probably, that's really hurting Essendon at the moment.
Ball around the outer side. Hasn't seen a lot of it. Intended for Dawes. He's attracting the footy at the present time.
Yes, he did all the training, of course, because he had that internal suspension, but missed a lot of games, and he does look a month behind the other players on the field in that match conditioning, doesn't he?
Hill straight to Johnson. Johnson dropped the footy. Advantage is paid. Hocking comes away, slips it away to Watson. Watson runs beyond the wing, kicks down towards half forward. Coming up was Ryder. Trying to force it through was Hurley. Didn't bend down for it. Taken by Zaharakis. Lays it off to Hocking. Hocking with the left boot. Oh, well, lots of fortune. Onto the chest of Reimers. I'm not sure he was the target. He came from behind the line and probably out of that man's vision.
One would argue that if you drive the ball into the forward 50, then... I mean, it should be that forward should be watching the teammate with the ball, while defenders are kind of half looking for an opponent, half looking at... A forward should read the ball better.
Well, as a defender, that's the one where you get caught out, just the ball going in continually. You absolutely love it when they, handball the ball around the 50.
Reimers then looks pretty good. 3 goals for the term.
Well, they've made the most of their chances, and I think in general play, the game is fairly much even up for most of this second quarter. There obviously is a big margin to be made up, but Essendon have got to be out of corner, almost get the margin out of their mind at this point of the game and just try and see if we can play better than Collingwood. And if they can get another goal or two, get within 4 goals or so at half-time, well, then the game is very much still alive.
So he's a belligerent type, Remus, isn't he? He loves this type of occasion. He likes the crash and bash. Collingwood winning centre clearances, winning everywhere at the moment, but the Bombers getting the scoreboard to check.
Come on, boys. Just tell me, Tom, that sense, what is sensing in the Essendon players? How much are they conscious of the scoreboard at this point, do you reckon, in terms of...
Oh, look, I think they would be, but you're right. They've got to live in the moment, and they've just got to chip away. When the deficit's as large as it is, you just take the small wins as you can, then all of a sudden you might be within 3 goals, and then you've got striking distance.
Well, Hocking decided not to kick on the...
That's it. Right out, guys. Right out, guys. Hayden, back here. Play on now.
So Hocking decided not to kick on the right and got pinged. Pendlebury just lays it to Johnson.
Oh, no.
Get in the ground. Mark's here. Play on. Yours.
So discipline there, and Medhurst surprisingly drops it. Wellingham, Watson fetches it. And then Watson's handball is not good. Well done, Hill. Little give to Dyson. Dyson to Pears. And then Pears gets it outside the 50. Terrific effort, though, by Maxwell to McCaffer. McCaffer. Beams. Now Monfries to Dyson. Dyson inboard to Pears. To Melsham. To Gumbleton. Gumbleton eludes the tackle. Handball to Hooker. It's an important passage of play. Cut off by Didak, couldn't quite. And then Dempsey. And then going to ground, unfortunately, Slattery.
Oh, one of those days. O'Brien to the outer side. McCaffer, or was it Cloak who's got it? There's plenty of them out there. They're cruising past. Now it's with Pendlebury. McCaffer giving him vocal support. Now Johnson. Johnson inside the forward 50. Medhurst, one hand to it, tracks it on the deck. Strong tackle, got Hill down. Ball trickled across towards Welsh. Clears the zone, at least temporarily. Right against the line, Monfries. They've got the numbers, 2-on-1. They take advantage. Remus comes away. Back to midfield. Collier's got it. Now where's Ryder? He's on the move. Kick goes in that direction. Ryder is outnumbered. Trying to get the ball on the ground was Brown. Kept in front. Gumbleton went to ground. Well done, Brown. Beat a couple. Feeds it back. McCaffer. Pendlebury. Ryder almost had him. Pendlebury. Hand passes to Didak. Taken down by Slattery. Trying to force his way through was Tuvey. Jarred out of there. Collier. Chance for Dempsey. Back into the path of Collier. Collier confronts Tuvey, and Tuvey bounces off him and kicks it down towards half forward.
And then Dyson did well. Hill just feel like a goal here either way makes a big difference. This is a tug of war right now for the last minute or two. It's terrific stuff. Johnson out wide. Beans arches his back, finds some space. Lovely kick. Oh, he's a good player, Beans.
When you ask Lee about the scoreboard, it's those little contests, and you've just got to get a win out of those really 50-50 ones, and it was an arm wrestle. Fantastic footy, but Collingwood came out on top, so Essendon have to regather, reassess, and then go again.
So working their way through Collingwood's pressure, that's just the one thing. Essendon just can't find that extra bit.
Yep.
Kicked 6 here a couple of years ago when he won the Anzac Medal, Medhurst. That's as straight as a gun back.
That hurts.
Third time Beams has taken the ball inside 50 to a target, and they've kicked the goal.
Yeah, no, he's been good. Yeah, there's that midfield turnovers again. That was how Collingwood's goal. That just the poor hand pass by Hill. They're not able to find the three teammates at the moment. Essendon, they had a few chances to go through the centre square. Collingwood won the footy. And again, really good use by Beans, wasn't it?
A former Docker on the big stage this afternoon, and starting the day he'd been at 22 goals in 12 games against the Bombers. Won the Anzac Medal in 08, and what a wonderful speech he made. Won himself a legion of fans that day, taken high.
Carl Remus kick.
Remus gets the free off the ball. Thought for a moment Ball was going to get it. Luke Ball just 4 possessions. Here's Reimers. Touched on the mark. It wanders down towards half forward. Their ball handling has been spotty at best. Missed by Winderlick. Will have a ball up on the line of the square. Michael Malthouse has won 7 against 20 playing Essendon since taking over at Collingwood. Jolly directs it down. Ball, hand passes. Over the football there, not going very far. I think it's Beams. Recognised that arm.
Could be a lot of players actually at the moment. There's a lot of those arms around.
You're obviously not in the tattoos. I knew that was his.
Ah.
That last passage on the outer side, you can quote me, Lee, it was very much Australian. None of that un-Australian business. Dyson comes through the congestion towards half forward. O'Brien. Now Monfries. Well, that was ambitious. They got him in the pincer movement. Maxwell, O'Brien. And now Wellingham. Out of defence to the outer side. They're away. Swan is running.
That defence of Collingwood working so well. Probing kick to Fraser. Doesn't have to break stride. Well, what about that for a transition? One end to the other.
That passage of play certainly summed up the state of the game. There's a game tackle. I think it was O'Brien and Maxwell from memory. Brought the ball out down the outside, which they do so long. They're the #1 long kicking team in the competition. They've got ahead of the ball over the top to Josh Fraser and finishes with the goal. That was vintage Collingwood.
You always want your midfielders, when your defence are able to win the ball, which they did, Collingwood. They won the contest, but Swan was the one out on the wing on his own.
So, close to half-time. Collingwood have got their highest first half score this season, 74 points. And I think from memory, that was the total that the West Coast Eagles had got against the Bombers last Friday night. Well, Friday week ago. Swan out of the middle. Down towards half forward. Pendlebury just held up. Across but Thomas getting pretty gloomy here too. Not for the Magpie faithful though. Thomas tried to play it on. Came unglued. Pears, Hooker. Wanted to go back to Pears. Watson. They're okay now. Collier, well,
Did well.
Took a risk. He did. Hand pass comes from Winderlick. Taken by Hocking. They're chancing their arm. Hocking was held up behind play. Advantage is paid. Lovett Murray to Monfries. Vacant square on the angle coming across Gumbleton. That was a beautiful kick. It was, dare we say it, centimetre perfect.
For Gumbleton at the moment, when there's a body against him, he just can't keep his height and balance. But when there is no body against him, that's when his movement looks really quite good.
I reckon the signs are good, though, for Gumbleton today. Haven't seen him move like this for quite some time, since he played in the WAFL with Peel Thunder. Gets his second.
That's what you're hoping, because he's only played, 6, 7, 8 league games, so he's really only young in terms of experience in league footy. But he's certainly on the move. He's got really good hands. That ability to do it in and around the bodies in the contest, that's still got to come.
That's a really interesting point. I think you're spot on, Lee. He looks very comfortable out in the open. What you want to see, I guess, from a man of that size and stature is the big clunk, is the sort of Jonathan Brown pivot, push the opponent off, take the ball at the highest point.
There's no doubt. I mean, a good key forward, elite key forward, needs to be able to get 2 or 3 contested marks a game. To add to that uncontested moving marks.
It's interesting ball drop there. I'm no connoisseur on goal kicking, but
it's not a good technique.
It doesn't look like it's an effective technique.
Didak, half chance, spills off his boot. Dempsey left it behind. They're exposed now. Still time. Johnson loops one over the top. He got it from Wellingham. Didak the fumble, and maybe the moment has passed. In goes Dempsey. Wellingham trying to wrest it off him. There's the siren. It's half time. Better turn that from the Bombers, but that's not saying very much. Huge problem still confronts them. Margin 36 points.
Given it was 42, Dennis, at quarter time.
Yeah.
They're on the way back a little.
By degrees, but we did say it needed to be manageable. Still doesn't seem that way. Let's go down to Tim Watson.
Well, Nick, you almost got off to the perfect start.
Yeah, no, it's been a pretty solid start. Obviously, you let a couple of goals go that quarter that we probably shouldn't have through our mistakes, just getting a bit too queued up forward. But I'm really happy with the pressure the boys are putting on.
Well, that seems to be the key, the pressure that you're applying to Essendon every time they've got control of the ball.
Yeah, they're a very good running team, and they like to run with handball and set it up that way. So just got to make sure we stay on top of them and put the pressure on them.
Thanks for your time.
Good on you, Tim. So the margin is 46 points, 11-8 to 4-4.
So interesting move that, and Hurley back into defence where he plays quite well.
Opening bounce of the third term then. Anzac Day at the G. Ruckman fought a draw, fell at their feet. Jolly, Hocking, sends Essendon down towards half forward. Brilliant pickup by Maxwell. Geez, a player now. Johnson, a little 1-2 with ball. Thomas is on. He's got it on the outer side. Plays on immediately. Goes down towards half forward. Dawes, always a target. Hurley tries to trap it. Socket off the ground by Swan. Worked off the ball by Slattery. Well done. Twice. Hand passes it forward. Reamers hard against the boundary line. Stanton's away. Stanton drives it down towards half forward. Gumbleton. Thought he was held by the arm. No free. O'Brien being held. Dempsey. Gumbleton a fumble. Welsh back inside. Now Hooker has gone on the forward line. Kicks inside the forward 50. Jolly.
It's a good strong mark. They had the numbers, Collingwood, but it was still a contested footy. Getting it wide. Cloak and Pears. It's been a pivotal duel. And then Pears into the centre where they've got a little bit of time here. Welsh to set up. He had to stop and prop. Now Dempsey can run with the footy, but he's on the wrong side. Taking chances. Stanton concedes to Watson, and then off one step, a kick towards Hooker. Good grab. Well, they said he'd push him forward, and he's now going to get a second possession.
What I like about Kyle Hooker, when he plays in the back line, he attacks the contest as if he's going to mark the ball. Sometimes he affects the spoils, but he obviously knows, I guess, the basics of contested mark.
So conceding to Fletcher with a longer kick, but that's up and under, eluding everybody. Jolly doing the roving, brought down on the tackle. Ryder almost got away, couldn't quite get his foot to it. And then Tuvey, who kicked an early goal. Johnson from Thomas. Still a bit of pressure. Wellingham now. Collingwood might be out.
Thomas to ball. The defensive 50. Nice kick. Dawes. Impressive.
That's your mark.
Or if you like, lovely. Along the boundary line, reaching over the top, doing it well. Fletcher puts it out of bounds. 74-28. The margin was 44 at quarter time, so goalless in the opening term. Matthew Knights' side. Hill with the run. Really no contest. McVeigh not been an influence. Tossed out of there by Watson. Free to Collingwood to be taken by Didak. He's the master of pinning one arm. Didak takes something off the kick down towards Cloak. Cloak first back. Coming to meet him is Fletcher. Fletcher, eye on the football, did well close to the boundary line. Pears, Cloak, Davis, the hurried kick. Bounces along the line. Bit unlucky there, the Magpies. Davis did well.
Fraser was lurking. Goal in each of the first two quarters. 10th game on Anzac Day, so he equals Scotty Burns and Anthony Rocker for most played by a Magpie. So Hill and Jolly, 50-50. Davis was looking for the free. Hocking couldn't quite get through. And then Fraser and Wellingham getting on to it and getting the opening goal in the second half.
Ability to hunt the football, isn't it, really? I mean, the ball just came off the boundary throw. And let's look at Wellingham. There he is in the middle of it. Just keeps his eyes on the footy. There he is there, just keeps hunting it. And he's just the extra player there when the ball falls clear from the two guys contesting it. So that is a real hunting the footy goal.
Sharad Wellingham, who made his debut against the Bombers, Anzac Day 08. His first opponent was Joe Watson. And Watson not far away, but far enough away not to affect that goal. Jolly with a backhander. Hocking taken high, perhaps. No.
Between mine. Thanks, Heath.
Collingwood have had a great success rate with upgraded rookies. Wellingham's really come along in leaps and bounds in the past couple of weeks. Throw in Maxwell and O'Brien. They've got a fantastic conversion rate from the rookie system.
Wellingham again as if on cue. Goes down towards half forward. Clears Medhurst. Coming up from fullback is Pearce. Nice pick up. Brushes Medhurst aside. Under pressure still. Goes close to the boundary line. Collier, not sure about the wisdom of that, well, he was out of bounds.
Close to the fence. It's
Or
close
was
to the
it?
fence.
Oh, okay.
Mark's there.
Umpire Vozzo giving Collier a free kick. Push towards the fence.
Move it on.
When he retires, umpire Vozzo will make a great auctioneer as the ball goes down towards half forward. Spills behind, taken by Tuvey. Chance for Shaw. Well done. Johnson. Too easy. Johnson looks across the ground. Beautiful finish to Thomas.
And then Thomas with an option or two, and then the check side. Heard the umpire, so Slattery's got to get rid of it to Lovett Murray. And the Lovett Murray's handball wide. Fletcher had to wait. Back to Lovett Murray. And then Lovett Murray will find a target wide to Hill. So Hill with a bit of time to run 10 metres and then kick. And not a great kick, but Maxwell this time couldn't quite take it. And Dempsey, this is a chance. It's a good goal from nowhere, really. They need a few more of those.
Just need to make every post a winner at the moment, the Bombers. It was I guess a static bit of play outside on the wing, but again the long kick, we haven't seen enough of Essendon really pumping the ball in long. Sure, there was no target down deep in the 50, but it's what they've just got to get used to, just back to kicking the ball and winning those I guess contests in the middle of the ground.
Good running goal.
Need more of those. Courtney Dempsey. His first goal of the season. His first goal against Collingwood. Nice running goal from outside the 50. Had there been man back there, I think it still would have cleared them. Beams out of the centre. Collingwood, as they've done all day, searching for a quick reply, and generally they've got it. Davis, hard against the boundary, bounces it down towards full forward. Jolly lumbers in. Can he keep it in play? Not quite. How did he get free?
They stabilised the clearances a little bit in the second quarter, Essendon, but it's 27-14, and Collingwood, when they are able to run the ball away from the stoppages, have just been dynamic.
Hill at the second attempt falling to the ground, feeds it out to Fletcher. Fletcher along the ground towards the 50. Magpies in all directions to the football. Swan gets it from Shaw, short to Fraser, and Fraser on the boundary in the right full forward pocket.
Mark's there. You're going to the line, Josh. Mark's
Pretty
there.
congested to his left.
You're right on it, okay?
Probably, if he wanted to set it up, it's just to the top of the square because it's one-on-one deep, as you can see, but I think he's going for goal. Fraser, sweetly timed. Well, they're undeniable.
It was a nice goal. I think Essendon would be wondering why Dustin Fletcher couldn't find Fraser. He kicks the ball out here. You see Fletcher left the screen. His direct opponent Fraser. He just didn't react.
It's worked great all over the ground, I think, especially when you have a turnover. You've got to push just as hard defensively as you do offensively to try and find your direct opponent.
So goal in each of the quarters for Fraser now. It's a beautiful kick and a terrific reaction, and there you go, because of he had the Essendon fans, and he was heavily criticised for his game last year when Ryder won the Anzac medal. So some pressure on him in the build-up, and his form this year has been pretty ordinary, but he's having a great day. Good day to have a good one, this one, isn't it?
Yep.
Shaw wide, and here is Fraser. Has to wait for it. He did well there because he held the handball back, and then side bottom goes backwards to Shaw. They just have not been able to put any scoreboard pressure on Collingwood since about halfway through the first quarter. Essendon, so Hurley in the back half. To Lovett Murray, to Hill.
I like Hurley in the back half. He wasn't reading the game particularly well in the forward half, and when you're coming back from a long layoff, perhaps you're better off seeing the game from centre half back and picking up some form that way.
Ryder, clever. Hooker, who's the big shift, he's gone forward and Hurley back. Hooker did okay, couldn't quite get it out. Shaw to Wellingham. Heavy traffic, Wellingham. Ball tucks off the boot. Luke Ball to Beams, so important. Beams
drives it inside the forward 50. Oh, that's too easy. Davis appear to be hands in the back. Just checked off a bigger man in Lovett Murray. Hand pass from Hurley to Fletcher. Now with Watson. Releases Winderlick. Winderlick alongside the centre circles to Gumbleton. And Gumbleton down towards half forward. Spots Monfries. Monfries couldn't hang on. Unlike him. Was he carried forward? Comes back to Gumbleton. Gumbleton in the grasp. Great pressure from Collingwood. Welsh though finds Dempsey. And Dempsey gets back-to-back goals.
Exactly the same way too, really. Just the ability to... They haven't really got anyone who looks like taking a contest to their forward 50, so getting someone who can carry the ball through the 50-metre line looks like their main goal-scoring source.
And it all started from a Dustin Fletcher kick in the back half. He had the courage to bring the ball through the centre of the ground. He's never going to hand pass it, and it flowed on, and then obviously Dempsey got on the end of it and kicked a fantastic goal.
Dempsey started as a forward. He was only shifted to defence a couple of years ago for the Bombers, so he's played most of his junior footy as a forward. And the thing about the back line is that as a Collingwood defender, you've prepared yourself for a lot of players, but it hasn't been Dempsey. So at this stage, he's getting in under their guard.
So Collingwood still with that 46-point margin. The biggest deficit Essendon's ever come from behind at half-time in any match was actually, ironically, on Anzac Day, 1992. They were 45 points behind Melbourne, so 1 point shy of what they are at the moment, but you can't see another miracle here right now. They haven't...
Hold of his arm first before he took possession. Zaharakis didn't have possession first.
Speaking of miracles, he produced one last year. They haven't kicked consecutive goals in this match today. Let's see if they can do it from maybe a forward burst here.
Lovett Murray and Davis. Lovett Murray wriggles free. Reamers, Lovett Murray over the top. Watson had a look. Measures the kick to the middle. Off the hand of Hocking. Opportunity behind. Hooker missed the target. Winderlick went in. Comes back to Hocking. Turns around, fires at goal. And it bounces out of bounds in front of the pursuing Gumbleton.
He's not a classy forward, Hooker, but he's at least as a goer. Yeah. And I think in that what Essendon knew today is his ability to want to impose himself in the contest has been very good.
Clean possession to Fraser. Kicks towards midfield. Dawes. Hurley overcommitted. Dawes overran. On one knee to Swan. Side bottom. Under pressure. Didak. Here's trouble. Real trouble with a capital T. Rhymes with P. Stands for Poole and Pendlebury. Then he goes and kicks a goal.
When you're playing on Alan Didak and you see him tearing towards the face of the goal, he rarely hand passes off, which is a bit of an anomaly in itself. But you know you're in trouble. He's such a dangerous half forward. Here we are. We see him sweep on the ball. I would have put my house he was going to have a shot on the goal from there, but gave it off to Pendlebury. But you know, he just makes things happen. He's that opportunist half forward. He's a fantastic player.
Had a fair few of those midfield contests of that ilk where mostly Collingwood have won them, and I get it's got about 6 goals. Where it's just who's going to win that contested ball around the middle. Collingwood have done it.
The last 9 scoring shots have been goals in this match. 5 to Collingwood and 4 to Essendon. Watson, Stanton, side bottom almost cut it off. Well done by Pendlebury. Jolly, Wellingham, quick kick forward to a dangerous spot. Medhurst and Fletcher. Medhurst pushing forward. Collier did well. It's a good kid, isn't he? To Stanton. Stanton with a long ball to half forward. Good take. Gumbleton, there's been some good signs from Gumbleton today.
Yeah.
There's that awkward kicking style, but it's in a good spot. And Ryder, well, hands in the back. Fans either deliriously happy or absolutely the opposite, as Heath Shaw with one of those famous runs of his to side bottom. to Wellingham. Such a good link player, Wellingham. Careful kick inside, and Lovett Murray is getting better as the game's going on. He had a really nervous start. Kicks to Gumbleton. Gumbleton kicks to Hill at the back. Big fly came from Hooker. Hill, still with Hill. Well, he missed Dempsey. Dempsey was looking at a hat-trick, I think. Back to Hill. Can't quite get it out. Hooker, well played. Pendlebury. Ryder taps it down. They've got the numbers. Little tackle by Tuvey. O'Brien to Pendlebury. It's just not the Bombers' day.
Good mark by Jolly. Off balance. Margin 52 points. Jolly's been pretty good today. Not his best effort, though. That was really a nothing kick. Watson, Monfries. Monfries lays it off. Collier, fumble. Still Collier, though. Tackle from behind by Swan. Jarred out of there. Reamers, involuntary action onto his boot. Watson to Gumbleton. Gumbleton goes long down towards full forward. McVeigh tries to work in front. Nothing doing. Maxwell comes away resolutely. The Collingwood skipper into the path of Shaw. Tracks it up towards the wing. A couple to choose from. Comes to Beams.
After disposal.
Gee, they're onto that today. Beams has got the footy. Looks inside the forward 50. Dawes will fly. Oh, through his fingertips. Fletcher gets back to Stanton.
And then Stanton, well, that's not a good kick, but he'll be okay. He made, well, Zaharakis work. It might be okay. Still Zaharakis, well,
story of the day.
Yeah. I wonder what role Dustin Fletcher's playing in the Essendon defence. I hope he's organising, because he's not taking the kind of size matchup that should suit him. And he's the experienced player in the Essendon defence. I'm just not sure whether he uses that experience well enough to organise his group.
Jolly laid it down, and then Lovett Murray to Beams, who hooks back to the top of the square, and he's been promising to do that all day, hasn't he, Dawes?
And that point I mentioned, you've got Fletcher on Medhurst, and you've got young Hurley on Dawes. You know, yes, I always ask myself the question, how come a Dustin Fletcher isn't taking one of the two tall matchups?
It's not something new, though, Lee, has it? I mean, Fletcher's been playing the third role for a while, I reckon. A few years, hasn't he?
I still ask why.
Yeah. That's a good question. And you had a determined look, and I'm just going to nod.
I played the same role, so I'm staying right out of it.
Dawes. A goal. He's had a promising afternoon. Collingwood are away.
The state of the game is obviously all in Collingwood's favour at the moment. They got the jump mainly in the two contested possessions and tackles. If Essendon are to get back into the game, they need to have a few little wins. As you can see there, it's heavily in their favour at the moment. So they need to have the little wins around the ground just to get some sort of confidence and I guess, you know, some confidence for next week as much as anything.
58 points then.
Continue that point, Tom. You had Harry Taylor and Matthew Scarlett to play tall.
This is true.
I don't think Essendon have got that luxury.
No.
Down to you, Richo.
Yeah, watching Scott Gumbleton this quarter, he does work extremely hard, and the good thing for Essendon is Nick Maxwell has gone to him. That's going to keep Maxwell more accountable, but also Gumbleton's forced that matchup because of the way he's been working this quarter.
McVeigh to Hocking, who boots beyond the wing. Maxwell, the man Richo was talking about, paddles it forward. Pendlebury on the line. Johnson liked his game this afternoon. He's a quick healer too as it goes down towards half forward. Jolly. Good leap. Nobody stands the mark. Pendlebury's got it.
Touch, mine.
Pearce touched it. Medhurst has got it. McCaffer in trouble there as Wellingham. He was off balance going backwards. Coming at him was Reamers, who's enjoying that in there. Wellingham's not. They forget the ball and they go after each other. This game needs that.
Just on that, Lee, would you prefer to see Dustin Fletcher playing on Dawes as opposed to Medhurst?
Well, I think I probably would as experienced defender.
So Pendlebury with a good-looking kick.
Hands in the back.
That's a free kick to Collingwood.
Against you, hands in the back.
No.
Well,
Come back around. You weren't. As you pushed off, your hands were in his back. Just here. Michael, back here. You got it?
can the day get worse for Essendon?
Yeah, Collingwood have got hold of him now. That's not out. But that's that point of when you're under pressure, You'd want your most experienced defender to be showing that experience and taking the pressure.
I might ask Tim who knows the Bombers so well. I mean, it's been a while since Fletcher probably played in a role like that. We'll get you to think about that for a moment. Tim, it will be a year or two at least as Dawes kicks his second goal for the quarter in a few minutes.
The interesting one with Dustin Fletcher, he's now racked up to 20 possessions. Only 3 of those are contested, so he's sort of swooping around it. To back up your point, Lee, he's not playing with that physical presence. Whether it is a Dawes, whether it's a Medhurst, whether it's a Cloak, it's not the point. It's putting yourself in a contested situation to show some leadership to younger players.
Well, I think we know why they play him as the floater, but at the same time, I'm not sure whether it means I'm not going to take the responsibility of taking the hard matchup.
Yep.
Well, on that point, I mean, Fletch does go to one of the other players who just watch this stoppage again, and the space here. This is in Collingwood's forward half. The space then that Pendlebury had to kick that ball. I mean, that's where Essendon have let themselves down all day. They just haven't been tight enough around the stoppages or around the general play. They haven't had the intensity from the opening bounce that Collingwood have displayed.
That's it, the intensity. Another bounce. Jolly works in front of Hill. For a draw. Monfrey's quick hands. Watson goes down towards half forward. Hooker to his own advantage. Harry closes him down. Hooker just watches it trickle out of bounds.
And the best stat for intensity is really just the basic tackling stat, which is 62 to Collingwood, 48 to Essendon. I mean, the tackling pressure of Collingwood from the very beginning has just really stifled Essendon.
Spoke about those two. Off the ball, having their own two-man war. Johnson wrenches it out of there. Well done. Created something for Beams. O'Brien. Thomas around the outer side. Wellingham. Some good hard running there. Beams again. They're making it look simple. Swan. Wellingham. Tormenting the Bombers at the moment. Thomas. Wellingham. Did he have the football? No. Well, he didn't, but it's a boundary throw.
Tim, we might just on Dustin Fletcher, that sort of full-back, centre-half-back role, how long do you think since he's actually played it?
A long time, Bruce, but I think the real difference is now that he's playing in a side that hasn't got the strength that the best Essendon sides had in the around 2000, 2001, and he was able to actually play off his man. But now when the pressure's on and they know that he's playing that role and the pressure isn't on up the field, then it's much more difficult for him to be effective in that role.
So Ball's kick, finding touch. Pears and Hooker and Hurley, 3 developing big defenders, aren't they? All forward case maybe in Hurley long term. Pears is going to be a terrific player.
Concedes a lot of goals at the moment, though. That's probably his downfall.
Gets high stats, but both ways, unfortunately. Watson. Monfrey's had a quietish game, coming back after the quad injury, after a couple out. Stanton, who missed last week for the first time in a couple of years, run down. Just gets the kick away to Ryder. Dempsey has been a bit of a revelation in this quarter with a couple of goals, and that one getting through for behind. So 10-goal game at the moment. Is the double the build-up? Is it a double the fallout, do you reckon, when you have a bad loss on a day like today?
Well, I think you've also got a situation where you've got top third side playing maybe middle third side. And the top third side's played well.
Thomas takes off around the outer side. Love him in this mood. Stanton can't go with him. Thomas probing kick down towards full forward, deserving of a goal. But I think Davis will get a free. It's bounced through in any case. No, it's going the other way against Davis. And will be taken by Hocking, and now 50.
Still pretty lucky there. We've been banging on a bit about Dustin Fletcher. He's almost got to the contest. He's pulled out at the last minute. They've got away with one there, the Bombers, without a doubt.
Well, it's not often a team that, like the Bombers, played so poorly in Perth, sells out a stadium that takes this sort of crowd the following week. They were terrible over there, and they brought that form today. Ball falling to the ground. Fraser, Beams, look at this. Johnson, if you're a Bomber supporter, don't look at this. Johnson kicks towards half forward. Davis trying to punch away there was Hurley. Davis over the top, kept it alive. Dawes goes out wide, under pressure Pendlebury. Dawes, ball. Ball towards the pocket. He takes a bit of time with his kicks, and that one didn't go too sweetly.
John Brunbury on the right, Kevin Rudd, the Premier and the Victorian, the Prime Minister. And
Collingwood President
and the
still
President
nervous head with a 10-goal lead.
I hadn't forgotten, Eddie, don't worry. The Prime Minister and the Premier are in good company today, aren't they? With Eddie down there. Here's Welsh.
Thanks, mate. Move on, Andrew, play on.
So Welsh's kick. Dempsey may be the target. Oh, Shaw read it beautifully and charges away and then decides to load up with a torp. And Davis read it pretty well. Davis will back himself here. He's off.
He
hasn't had anything for the highlight reel so far today.
Oh, missed it. Might have been just a bit fatigued after that 50-metre sprint.
He's had a sort of subdued day for Davis, hasn't he? But that was terrific. Here's Watson.
McVeigh. Hill spilt it. Fraser. He's been good today. His best game of the season. Thomas, a bit of a fumble. McVeigh left the ball behind. Goes again. Hand passes it forward. Watson knocks it forward. Hill trying to get it into the path of Zaharakis. Well, talking about small victories, Collier goes after it and perhaps had one. We'll have a ball up.
I think we often talk about Essendon's lack of defence when the opposition in control of the game. I think it comes around to their midfield chase. I don't think their speed around the middle of the ground might run with the ball okay, but they don't chase with any speed anyway.
Hill has a second crack at it. And then Pendlebury, McCaffer, Didak had to keep his eye on it, and he did that brilliantly, Didak. A running bounce. Oh, cute. Brilliantly played, Didak. Beams, running into an open goal and finishing it off. Stevie Johnson and Didak, I mean, they've got fast footy brains, haven't they?
Oh, yeah, they do. And by having such fast footy brains, it's their leg speed's probably undersold, but they're the players that have that ability. Paul Chapman's another one that can push up into the middle of the ground, play as that extra fourth or fifth midfielder, but then do the damage as a half forward. Not only kick the goal, but also the score assist. Just so precise with their footwork, and an absolute nightmare to match up on.
111 plays 41.
It's a dangerous sight when Didak's got the ball in the front of the centre square. There's a lot of options open.
That's a really interesting stat, that one. When we spoke at the start of the game about seeing Essendon as a running carry side, I gave up on the word in the
Visualising.
Visualising. And they're well down on the running bounces.
There's side bottom.
Gee, we found a weakness in Harley, didn't we?
Well, I would have helped, but I wasn't sure where we were going. It sounded like an ad for Chris Judd as the ball goes down to the pocket. Trying to knock away Fletcher, almost the mark to Jolly. Onto the loose ball is Fletcher. So the danger passed, at least for the moment. Lovett Murray back to Hocking. Hocking up the ground. Now Winderlick can run. Side bottom is closing. Winderlick with the outside of the boot. Harry is getting back. Up comes Dempsey. Oh, terrific O'Brien. Happy to be the meat and the sandwich there. Almost accepted the tackle. He'd done his work. Ball up at right half forward.
Good attempt. He's a wonderful one-on-one player, O'Brien. Such an athlete.
That point we're making about Essendon's chase around away from the clearances when the opposition got the footy. Sometimes it's just lack of leg speed, sometimes it's lack of intent. That's what has to be sorted out within their group.
Watson to Collier, well done by Ball to slap it away at the last moment. Stanton to Watson, getting high numbers, both of those players. McVeigh to Pears, measured a good kick, and Gumbleton running on to it. Now, can he go the distance here, Gumbleton?
The intent was always going to be the point, Lee, with the stoppage work. Essendon actually very good at clearances and contested possession, but the query was going to be pushing either way.
Well, speaking of pushing, they've pushed it with a couple of short passes to the top of the square. Same distance out, better angle. Stanton won't make this. It's too far for him. So he has to go with a half one to Pears, and then Pears has to ride a tackle down low. Watson, now does he load it up? Now he goes across the ground. He was looking for Hill, and Didac cuts it off.
It's been massive this quarter, Alan Didac.
Just one wish. I'm glad the Crows aren't playing the Bombers this weekend. That would have been hard to watch.
70 points the margin. Swan. That was a great mark. Off balance, falling backwards against quality opposition. Dane Swan. Obviously got the word from the bench. Just seconds to go till three-quarter time, so they decide to kill the clock. It's out of bounds. Clock stops at 7 seconds. Cloak, good afternoon. 4 goals. First multiple goal afternoon of the season for Travis Cloak. These are the days that stick in the memories, though. Pushing the back. Doesn't matter. Hill will get a kick in the self-same position where he did his knee early last year on Anzac Day. And then the siren will sound. Well, he decided to hand pass just to show me up. Three-quarter time, Collingwood 17-9. Essendon is 6-5, so the margin 70 points. Football, this is Anzac Day.
With that, but it's a miserable day for them right now.
The rain continues to fall. I'm with Richo. I think they're missing a Lloyd. Sound like Ari Gold as the ball goes down towards half forward. On his knee, getting it out there was Gumbleton. Hocking kicks it out towards right half forward. Maxwell's in front. Well played by Reimers, then he slipped over, and as a result was taken high by Didac. Advantages paid. Slattery, long kick inside the forward 50, reaching over the top was Tuvey, knocked it down. Chance for Fraser. Maybe he's found out his niche in this team, just where he fits, because he's been uncomfortable for the first few weeks. Side bottom missed it. Hill just slaps it forward. Lovett Murray's got it.
And then charges towards the 50 and the kick towards the goals, and Swan getting back to take it.
Where the Fraser has down the other end, Ryder with Hill back, it's just not the same player.
So Reid, kick to Didac, and Didac timed that well. He felt Watson coming and was able to work him a little bit underneath, and gets a 1-2 from McCaffer. And then Didac, little kick down low. Medhurst, clean take, and a kick around the body. Hill and Hurley together. Now Stanton. So Stanton going to Lovett Murray. Well done side bottom. Lovett Murray, though, should be able to snap it up. Wants Hocking to work, and then Hocking slowly to Dyson. Haven't seen much run from Dyson today. And then Dyson on the left, the half forward. O'Brien takes a beauty. As I said, he's just so good one-on-one, hard to beat. And then Johnson and Collingwood work it out.
Swan to side bottom. Side bottom walks around the other side wing and goes down towards half forward. Dawes left it behind. A little side foot from Fletcher. Only as far as Johnson. Well done by Johnson. Upended though by Fletcher. Collier. Dawson to Hurley. Short one comes to Lovett Murray.
Stay up, boys.
Lovett Murray. The rain appears to have stopped now. Just a brief shower. And this guy has had a good game today. Gumbleton. Some of the decisions haven't been great, but his athleticism has been impressive. That particular decision not terrific. Beams the clever kick into the path of Davis. Medhurst is running hard, still running hard, Medhurst, but Davis can't pick up the footy. Stanton grabbed him by the leg, no free. Stanton over the top of Davis, hits it out of bounds.
Looks like Stanton's got the defensive matchup on Davis at the start of this last quarter. Maybe that's a bit of a message we wanted to think about defence.
Yep. Yeah, he started down there, Lee, and now Davis goes into interchange and Stanton picks up Pendlebury. Beams, quickly hacks it forward. Fletcher has to sit and wait. And then you'll use Pears wide. So Pears looks up now. He's going to have to go for a long bomb here, or long ball. Good kick. McVeigh. O'Brien ran off him. Now McVeigh to Dempsey. And so Dempsey, the most productive forward for Essendon after half-time.
He's basically a half-back flanker. It's probably indictment really on the Essendon starting forward group, who just haven't been able to make it work.
Along with Hooker, they've had to turn. It's almost back to the under-8s. Go the backs and the forwards to rejig the structure.
So let's see what Dempsey can do from the tight pocket. So a bit unlucky. So 2-2 for Dempsey in the second half.
Mentioned Ryder because he won the medal this time last year. He's only touched the ball 3 times, so he hasn't had a good day.
Maxwell lacking support. Whoops, missed the footy. Welsh over it, slaps it out. Pears has got it. Wrong foot's Dawes. Slides a hand past to Lovett Murray. He's improved as the game has gone on, but that's not a particularly good kick. Dempsey was there. Certainly sending a message to the coaching staff. They like him across half back, but he's looked dangerous up forward in this second half. Fletcher, Stanton. So often when players come into this system, it's almost punched onto their forehead with a stamp, an embossing stamp, that they're a certain player, a half forward, a defender. And sometimes it takes a lot of breaking the mould. There goes the kick from Hockey. When you're going bad, it's time to find out who can do what. Harry can take a mark.
Gee, I tell you what, they've got a few contenders for the Anzac medal.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, Bruce, yeah.
They've had a lot of great players, and O'Brien's one of them. Ball, good mark.
Out Mark Hill.
There's a couple of cardinal sins there. I would imagine as a coach, you'd hate to see a defender take a contested mark right in the corridor, and then to see your ruckman outmarked by a rover. Sums up the day a bit.
Could be a long review for the Bombers after this, or a very short one.
I think you have to review it pretty sternly. You can't just let a performance like this go to waste.
Well, they're going to be at a pretty low ebb tonight, there's no doubt. A couple of terrible performances, and on such a stage like this. Lovely kick by Thomas to Wellingham. And Wellingham, Beams and Sidebottom are making a huge difference, aren't they? And Thomas has improved form as well. The kick close to the line. Monfries, that was lucky in the end that he didn't hurt himself. No impact from Monfries coming back. Now, we were hoping probably for 4 or 5 goals out of Monfries and Zaharakis combined, as they're crumbing tight.
You two are holding each other.
Small forwards that can take a mark, but not to be.
It's a star, Wellingham.
Moving on! Play on!
Told to play on. Has his 21st possession inside the forward 50. Hill goes back. Not sure what happened there. Maybe he stood in a puddle. We'll have a bounce. That was strange. Watch it again. I think the ball arriving surprised him. Out of defence, Hurley towards the wing. Swan tracks it back. Gumbleton arriving quickly, just missed it. Now Swan. Tuvey back to Swan, bit of a fumble. Just that top surface of the grass is slippery. Ryder across the ground. Dempsey, now he's a chance to go. Well, he's paid the mark. Unfortunate there that he slipped. Had he controlled the footy, he could have been gone. Alongside the centre circles to space. Not a good kick. Favoured the defender. Maxwell missed it. At the back is Welsh. Gumbleton is on for a deflection. Shaw's got other ideas. That was terrific. He was stiff. Knocked it to Zaharakis. This goal doesn't count as much as the late one last year.
It's a real worry for Essendon. I mean, Zaharakis has kicked this goal. Prior to that goal, Dempsey had been the only goal scorer for the half. So if you're going into a game, particularly when you turn things around at half-time, You just can't see where the goals are coming from the noted forwards.
They've popped Andrew Welsh into the forward group to probably play a bit of as a defensive forward on Nick Maxwell, and McVeigh is in there as well. But yeah, they haven't really given much of a yelp, their forward group.
So much to think about. An exciting week for the club, for both clubs, in the build-up to this match, and nothing really from a joyous point of view to take for Essendon. They crawl up to 7 goals against 17. It was 7-0 at quarter time. Wellingham down low. Lovett Murray flicked it back and then tried to fetch it. And then Wellingham did fetch it well, and clever by Davis pushing forward. Mark taken though by Stanton in the back half to Fletcher, to Collier. Well, the kick ill-directed, and Shaw cuts it off. So Shaw keeps his perfect record at Anzac Days. 4 games, 4 wins. Johnson, so good in the first half. Lovely kick. And Cloak, well, he might match that 5 goals from a couple of years ago. He's within range.
He's been a good runner for them, hasn't he, Ben Johnson? Yep. He's had 15 kicks too in a game where you have a lot of handballs. He's a kicker with a footy. He runs and carries and kicks, and that one was very accurate.
Got a terrific defence, Collingwood, haven't they? Getting, you know, Maxwell the general, I guess, but
particularly Preston Comer's out today. He's there. He plays the main big tool on the opposition power forwards.
And with O'Brien, Shaw, Johnson, terrific run as well.
It's the flexibility, I think, the most important part of the Collingwood backline.
So Cloak just tugging it a bit for that extra distance, but he's had a good day, a very, very good day.
And watching the game from up here, you get a real sense of how much leadership and control Maxwell exerts over the whole team. Really impressed with the way he's gone about his footy, not only from an individual performance today, but the way he marshals his troops in the back line.
Dyson, the short one. Here's Monfries. Oh, dear. Oh, McCaffrey missed it. Fletcher. Stanton. Monfries. Out of defence. Keen to make amends. Floats it up towards Lovett Murray. That was a clever mark. Worked in front of Thomas. Winderlich uses his pace. Down towards half forward. Maxwell. Good mark.
What Monfries is in the defence for the same education potentially as Stanton. See what it's like down there when we don't chase upfield.
Maxwell to the opposite pocket. Now things open up on the far side. There's a man out there, Wellingham, who'll get it from O'Brien. Didak is the next link in the chain. Quicker to kick it than run it. McCaffrey's the next link. Well, perhaps. He goes into Shaw. Shaw's got a man on him, but makes no difference. Steps around Slattery and misses.
They've been dominant on the turnover, Collingwood. Maxwell got the actual turnover again. Typical Collingwood. Switched the ball and when ran outside. Scores from turnover. 10 goals, 5 to Collingwood. And only the 4 goals, 5 to Essendon.
That St Kilda match a couple of weeks ago must feel like an eternity for Mickey Malthouse right now. Life's terrific, isn't it?
Yeah. Does have a week-to-week element to it, the game, as we state all the time.
8 happy coaches, Lee, every weekend, and 8 unhappy ones.
That's the way it works, and we'll be that way again this weekend.
Didak.
Thank you.
McCaffrey.
Thanks, mate.
He tried to put the tackle on Zaharakis late last year. And then goes short, cut off. Collier's been okay. There is Zaharakis, now Monfries to Slattery. And Slattery kicks to centre wing. Gumbleton took the mark. So they're promising for Gumbleton today. A fair bit of the ball. We've talked about his
he's taken 10 marks, had 16 possessions, so he's got himself involved in the game.
Kicked a couple of first half goals. Kicks to centre wing, hooker up. And then Shaw, Zaharakis, Welsh. She's still got some time to make something of it. Hocking, well, they've made a mess of it. And now Thomas, and now Collingwood on the turnover that Tom was talking about.
Shaw. And side bottom. Emerging young player. Told to play on. No one enthused by that call. Tuvey eventually. Drives it down towards half forward. Good grab, Dawes. Staking a claim, no question about that. Dawes inside the forward 50. Momfries and Medhurst. Momfries wrapped up by Medhurst. Jarn out of there. Stanton got it from Watson. Now Reema's out of the back pocket. High ball. Maxwell. Oh, well, took it a bit easy. Johnson. Across the body to a man who started the rot, really. Beams, when it counted in the opening 10 minutes, bobbed up everywhere. Dawes. What a good kick it was, and what a good catch it was.
Matthew Knights has been heavily criticised in the past for not adjusting, I guess, to the flow of the game. As a coach, Lee, do you actively go out and put in some defensive mindsets into players in this sort of situation?
Well, I think you're trying to do it all the time. I mean, I think when you want players running out on the field, the thing you want them running to the front of their mind, I've got to chase, I've got to tackle. And if you do that, then there's a fair chance your offense will come as well.
Yeah.
It's interesting, though, because Momfries is in defence, but I'm not sure he's playing on anybody. So he's gone down there acquiring kicks. You'd like him to be on somebody and have to really work his tail off.
I think he's actually got the Medhurst matchup in the main, but I guess as players interchange, your opponents do change down there.
This time last year, John Anthony was kicking 4 goals in this match. You look at Chris Dawes today and you think, well, he might be away getting back into this team. Dawes doing very well along with Cloak as the big forwards. Richo, that's good for Collingwood, isn't it? I mean, their big forwards have stood up today, and that's been a question mark.
Yeah, I said earlier in the game, I thought if you looked at Collingwood, that would be their only slight weakness, and the 2 big guys have been fantastic today. I mean, Cloak's close to best on ground, and Dawes has really stood up.
Shaw, Wellingham, now Pendlebury just orchestrating to Beams, and Beams, that was a very elegant slide, wasn't it? Like a ballet dancer to Pendlebury.
With the tats as the ball goes down towards the pocket, missed by Cloak. No surprise there. Over 90,000. What a great day.
You know, Dennis, it's the biggest crowd. This is a silly stat. It's the biggest crowd ever for a home and away game on either a Saturday or Sunday. Ever. On a weekend, yep. There you go. It was silly, I know.
Well, the previous one would have been Melbourne Collingwood on the Queen's birthday, wouldn't it? On this ground.
That wasn't on a Saturday or Sunday.
No, I know. But I was just going to say, that would be the biggest attendance at any home and away game?
No.
No?
No.
I'm surprised. But I should have known I should have gone into this with you.
Actually, you're a fair way off, but it's a complicated answer. I'll give it to you after we go off air.
Oh, I thought it was about 100 and... Never mind. Stanton. It's the last time I pick a fight with you.
That's it, Harry.
Well, you've got me in a lot of other areas.
Move it on.
Slattery. Name one. Slattery drives it towards the wing, and it's going to be a relayed free kick, Brizzy.
Harry, hang on. Harry, against you. Harry, keep him down.
So the ball goes forward as Harry's being admonished, and then Hooker to McVeigh, and McVeigh with an open forward line, he finds Hill, who will go back and have a shot.
Just off camera, we got a really good indication of the work rate of the Collingwood side. David Hill's lining up for goal. Dane Beams has pushed in excess of 60, 70 metres just to pick up Jake Melksham in the defensive 50. That's terrific work that's gone unrewarded.
So David Hill.
Well, it's just going back to Harry there. It was a bit unfortunate he slipped, but he certainly whacked him with 2 hands in the face. So it'll be interesting to see how that's viewed, or whether it will be viewed.
Be about the only thing that could spoil almost the perfect day for Collingwood.
Well, he didn't intend to. It's just that his feet went from under him.
Where we are. Play on.
Last thing on the attendance, Dennis. It's the 9th time we've had 90,000 or more to a home and away game, and 4 times Collingwood Essendon. That's it.
Okay. There goes the kick up towards the wing. Off hands, close to the boundary line and out of bounds.
I might just buy in on the attendances. Is it strictly the domain for Collingwood and Essendon
today?
Anzac Day, you think?
Now that's a good question too.
Well, this has done some harm today, you'd say.
But it was last year.
Only got 90,000.
Still, you can get one-sided games.
As we know, they're going backwards. Of course, they got 94,000 in 95.
Must have been the coaches.
Must have been.
Don't you start. Across the ground. Fletcher, hands to it. Falls to Pearce. Just going through the motions. To half forward. Melksham.
How's it going? Not yet, Luke.
Across the ground he goes to Stanton. Now the man deepest
It's yours, mate.
in the defence is Shaw. As a result, the kick comes in short. Johnson is hurt again. Johnson on the ground. Meantime, Welsh gives it to Watson. Then Hooker takes the mark. Hopefully Jono's okay. Gets to his feet. May have just been cramp. It is. Meantime, Hooker will line up at goal. He's a willing worker, this Hooker. Started in defence. Hasn't kicked too many AFL goals. From East Fremantle. No pressure on now. But he puts it straight through the middle.
He's coming straight off the ground. I guess it's that time now for experimentation for the Bombers. We've seen Hooker in the forward line. We've seen Monfries in the back line. We've seen Hurley now in the back line. Matthew Knights will be looking for just someone who gives a little bit extra going into the season. Now they're going to be 1-4 after this week, so they've got to look at all sorts of angles going into the, I guess, the final 3 quarters of the year.
So very different afternoons for Michael Malthouse and Matthew Knights. Consecutive goals for Essendon for the first time today, but it means not a Zach. Didak. So many Collingwood players have come today and turned up to play, and they've been terrific. Swan using Didak again, and then Didak on the right foot, kicking to space, and Sidebottom reading it very well. He's had a good year, Sidebottom. Actually, they're 2 draft picks from a couple of years ago. Sidebottom and Beams were the 2 high ones they've taken. They chose well, didn't they? Ryder to Watson.
Yours.
To Zaharakis. Down the line, McVeigh had a few touches in this last half off, last quarter, I should say, off half forward. Wider to Dempsey. Into Watson. So a lot of the footy, Watson. Slowish start today. And then Winderlick.
But clear it out, Paddy. Paddy, clear it out.
Stats can deceive, and
Paddy, you can't check it on the mark. Thanks, mate.
it's been so little penetration for Essendon.
Thanks, Paul. That's a mark.
So Stanton
Goes back to Hocking. Well, they refuse to change things. Hurley this time unloads. Perhaps because he's a novice, he didn't do the right thing according to the coach. It goes out of bounds in the pocket. Interesting, the last 3 or 4 guys that had the footy there all looked short first, very short. And Gumbleton was one out in the square with Brown. Still to come. Well, they've got the Tigers in 4 weeks. Immediately when you see that graphic, you just look for the Tigers' face. Because Essendon not as short of beating anybody. It's out of bounds.
A month's a long time in footy. And so for Collingwood, well, Carlton next Sunday. I'll get a massive crowd for that, yep. Fremantle on a Friday night in Perth looks outstanding. Richo.
That was cheap as, Dennis.
Sorry, Richo.
Come on, mate. I'm getting rained on down here, and I've got to listen to that as well.
Is it raining down there, Richo?
Oh, yeah, it is, Tommy. Do you want to come down and join me?
It's been hot up here.
Hey, Richo, you know that's my stock and trade, the cheap shot.
Oh, no, mate. I'm getting sick of it, though.
I dined out on you for a couple of decades. I'm sorry, mate. I take it back.
All right. Just shout me a coffee after, can you?
I will. Monfries. Hurley. Around the outer side. In best position, Wellingham. Up comes Gumbleton. Slipped over. That's the biggest plus this afternoon. Gumbleton by a country mile. Collier. The look away hand pass. Zaharakis lines up. And kicks it behind.
Young Collier's only had the 13 possessions, but I've liked what he's actually done. He's provided a bit of spark. He's tried to bring the ball inside at every opportunity. So I think along with Gumbleton, he's a positive for mine.
So O'Brien to half-back. Terrific one-on-one mark by Sidebottom.
Getting involved in the game. Trying to think about it. I wonder who might win the medal for the... I'm probably thinking Wellingham, maybe.
Yep.
Maybe because she's played better than you expect him to play, but I think he was a really good player from the very beginning.
Have a think, Tom. Richo and Tim, have a think. Who would you give the medal to? I asked you in a second. Out wide to Brown. Lee's going for Wellingham. So Brown on the left. Haven't seen a lot of him. Kicks to half forward. Fletcher on the up. Hooker. Stops and prospects. Can't get around. He's a smart player, Pendlebury. They've got some good decision makers, Collingwood, haven't they? And then Gumbleton's handball cut off by one of those good decision makers to another one. In Maxwell, who with a wet ball decides to go long to half forward. Monfries, a little one, Fletcher, and then Fletcher across the ground to Watson, and then Watson kicked towards Collier. It was a good kick. Collier just dropping it and trying to get the handball out. Swan's body strength a factor there.
26 possessions now for Swan. De ball, Beams. Forward of the wing, he could be a contender too as it goes down inside the forward 50. Medhurst. Whoever wins it will battle to match Medhurst's speech. Didak kicks a wonderful goal. Collingwood romping over the Bombers.
Just on the medal, is the medal strictly a best on ground, or is it a player who encapsulates the Anzac Day spirit?
I thought it was best on ground. I'm not sure who the voting panel is, but I mean it
is a bit of both.
It's very even. I mean, there's half a dozen Collingwood players who could figure in it, and one of them is this guy. He's been very good. I mean, his vision is totally 180 degrees.
Yeah, it is.
He can just see everything left and right. Great peripheral vision.
So Collingwood over 10 goals, close to the biggest margin ever on Anzac Day, which is 73. Over 90,000 people. And for one half, it's been a glorious afternoon, and for the other, a long day that went all wrong. Who do you reckon? Tim, who would you give it to if you were picking the Anzac medalist?
Beams or Wellingham.
Yep, and for you, Richo?
Well, I'm obviously going to go for the forward, and I thought it was set up early by Travis Cloak.
So all good players for the Magpies today. They've had so many of them. And you do feel as if they're getting closer to that elusive flag, don't you, from 1990. They got deep into it again last year. You feel like they're even stronger this year, and maybe St Kilda with revolt situation brings them back. Geelong have been so good for so long that history tells you just can't keep doing it all the time. So Collingwood in the mix for sure.
Oh, wonderful courage given the scoreboard by Beams, and he hurt himself. Side bottom over the top. Hand pass from McCaffer. Side bottom very short, looking for Davis close to the boundary line. Still a live ball. Side bottom comes back. McCaffer. Heard the umpire. Thomas. Siren just seconds away. Thomas unloads. Off hands. Siren. Resounding. Embarrassing. Tough week coming up for Matthew Knights. $18-12-120 to 8-7-55. I've got to say, Tom, I don't know much about crowds, obviously, but I do know about parliamentary committees, and they didn't get back in time.
It was very impressive at half-time with the Prime Minister, Dennis, I've got to say that.
Do you think he liked them?